So as we get in here, what we're going to come away with today is going to be a plan to have a predictable income. You're going to be able to know exactly if you do A, you're going to get Z. If you do an amount of A, you're going to get an amount of Z. And you're going to go through all 26 different variables that could affect it. But guess what? Math never lies. Math is true, right? It's not a theory. It's true. It's been proven. Well, guess what? You're going to get clarity on what you want in life, on your goals. You're going to then learn to believe that that's possible. Because I can tell you out of my stuff, there are tons of people that tell me you didn't sell 60 cars. Ain't no way you sold 60 cars. Ain't no way you made $200,000 a year. My dealership doesn't do anything and ain't no way I can sell that amount. I don't have 5 minutes. They don't believe. Math. You're going to learn the math behind it because I said it never lies. You're going to have a plan today because you can have all the talent in the world. If you don't have a plan to achieve what you want, are you going to ever achieve it? If that customer that took 7 hours to close, you going to have a plan to go back to finish it before you leave for the day? Or are you just going to go, man, I'm exhausted and I'm ready to go home today? What are you going to do? If you don't have a plan, most people don't. Then if you don't have a process of how to execute that plan, and you stick to the process. Who here likes Nick Saban? Even if you're an Auburn fan, you like Nick Saban. Come on. He's a good coach, right? What does he always say? Like, what's the one word he says the most every time? The process. The process. The process. It's not just the process of winning a football game, the process of going down the field. It's the process of living life. That's what he's talking about. It's the little things. Did you make your bed this morning? Did you do this? Are you doing this? What's your routine? Follow your process. If you follow your process, nothing's going to get out of whack for you. Because when you quit doing it, that's when shit happens. That's when the crap that happens affects you, right? When you do all that and you get committed to it, because I can tell you, you can have a clarity. Who here wants to gain more muscle mass? We all do, right? We all want to look big because society tells us we should, right? I want to lose weight. I have clarity that I want to do that. I believe that I can do that. I know the math that says if I do these amount of push-ups, walk 10,000 steps and do this and have my nutrition, I'm going to lose weight. I can make my plan for it. Boom, I'm going to do it. I know the process to do it. Boom. But if I don't take my little happy butt to the gym and I don't go through and be committed to it, when it starts hurting, decide to do it, still, I can't predict what's going to happen. I've got to do all of those to have predictable income. I can have income all day long. I can take this and have income all day long. But if I miss any one of those, I'm not predictable. And that's what I want to know. I want to know when I set my plan, because on commission, can your check go up and down in all those numbers? Whew, I can tell you for about 4 years, my check did this and it stayed here, buddy. And it kept going up and my spending kept going up too with it. Yeah. I would go, I just need to sell one more car. But I had all this. The moment I took something out of here, my income just became income and it wasn't predictable. I can relate to any point my income dipped, something was missing here. So make sure you guys, we're going to go through this and we're going to establish all that. Hey guys, I know a lot of you have been wanting to get to the next level. What I want you to do right now is text me. This is my personal cell. All you have to do is text me who you are and what you need help with to get to the next level. So go ahead, text me right now, 205-952-6224, and I will help you crush it. As well, I got a bonus for you. Scan this QR code and get into our free community and unlock some courses for you as well. Let's crush it together and let's get back to the video. So now, the law of intentionality. John Maxwell says, literally, growth doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen. You don't just grow. You don't just lose weight, especially as you get older, you don't just lose weight. I mean, if you're 21, you can eat whatever you want, go drink whatever you want, and you're still going to lose weight. You've got to be intentional about it. What do you want? And is everything in your day being intentional for it? Because if it's not, then it shouldn't be in your day. Has everybody got it? I will send these slides out to you as well, just so you guys know if you miss anything. All right, so defense versus offense. This is another thing that I teach and coach on. So I learned this the hard way. Like I said, when I sold 60 cars, I decided I wanted to get higher. Man, there's something missing. What do you think I decided to start studying? It's the number one thing sales reps start studying, especially objections and closes, right? So what did I say how I got to where I did? By talking to more people and doing nothing but solving their problem and loving on them. If I studied objections, what do you think I created? I started attracting objections, right? I started creating objections that weren't there. So what do you think happened to my sales? Yeah, they said, and they leveled off at about 40. And I was like, what's going on? Study more objections. Drop a little bit more. It's like, come on. And then I figured it out.
When you started studying objections and more objections, did you notice you start sounding like a script, because that's how I be feeling sometimes. Like my lowest month was last month, and I was just like, man, and I started going in bro, what I'm doing wrong, and I felt like I just started creating more objections for myself,
There's a reason. You want to solve what you want, and you're looking for the objection, and it's not even there. But because you're the salesman and the customer just needs you to guide them through the process, you think the process is to get to this objection because they're going to have it and I'm going to assume it. How many times do you lose a deal when you assume a customer's not a buyer? You look at them on the lot, man, that person ain't buying. He can't buy anything. Look at him. And that person's a $15 million bank account. Seen it. I know you have. I know you have. You'll see it if you haven't. Because the richest people in the world walk onto a car lot looking like the poorest. Because it's not that they want to look that way because you're going to treat them a different way. What they're looking for is somebody that's going to actually care about them. Because the reason why they made that money is not because they don't care about people. They care about people and they care about how they're treated as well. So they want to take care of people that are going to take care of people. So if you take care of them, they will take care of you. I've earned several companies' businesses just by doing that. Not overcoming the objection, just by genuinely taking care of them, treating them like an actual human being, not a check. So defense, we become responsive because all we're doing is training on objections, closes, how do we do this? Ken, you know that. That's all they talk about at his dealership. Objections, closes, blah, blah, blah. We need to do this. The first day you got to send these 4 things out and do that. And that's all they talk about. The first day interaction and then overcoming this objection. They are just playing defense the whole time. Not once do they talk about prospecting. Not once do they talk about having a daily plan. Can you be successful with just defense? Yeah, you can increase, you can fix some things, but you're not going to get past a certain mark. Can you play defense and sell 10 cars a month? Yeah, you can. But if you want to sell 20, 30, 40, because this is relying on the dealership and just being responsive to what's coming in the door. You all said you want to generate your own traffic. So offense is having a daily plan and commitment that generates your traffic. Who's running a business here? Every hand should be up. Every hand should be up. Jamari, you're running Jamari LLC.
You were the car guy.
There you go.
Birmingham car guy.
I know you are. I actually purchased an LLC. I don't recommend doing that unless you talk to an accountant and you have a certain thing, but I purchased an LLC because I knew I was running a business. But I treated it like I was running a business. When you treat something like you're running a business, what are some business expenses you have to generate income for you? Just think about it. Ken, what are some that you would have for generating income?
Advertising.
Advertising. So how could you advertise?
Facebook ads.
Okay, Facebook ads. What about you, Nori? What are some things you could advertise?
Really, I need to get on more advertising, like my profile on Instagram, things like that.
Okay, social media. Free organic advertising. Highly recommend it. Jamari, what are some things you think you could do advertising-wise? Just give me something. You keep me wrong. I don't care. There's no wrong answer. It's advertising. There you go. Business cards. I was going to point that out right there in front of your desk. Business cards. Big advertising mark. What about keychains? How many customers buy keys? You're buying a car, they need a keychain for it, right? I am shocked at the amount of dealerships that don't give keychains out anymore. Oh, it costs too much. Hell. I bought 1,000 keychains for $350 and passed them out to every customer, got one. It had my phone number on it, the tag on it, and I've got so many referrals from those. Then I started putting referrals in the back of my business cards, making sure I passed those out. Got a ton. Started doing birthday cards, thank you cards, Christmas cards, got a ton of referrals back. I can't even believe this one that worked. I did pins. I didn't bring one with me. I left it at the house. I should have had one left. I was like, I don't want to get rid of that one. So I have one pin left, but they're still passing around. You know that first dealership I started at? I ain't been there in a year and a half. I still have my pins passing around that dealership. Because people don't throw them away. They keep them. And guess what's written on it? My name, my phone number, ask for me. What if you handed that to customers? Because where does it go? It may go in their bag, it may go in their pocket, it may go in their drawer, it may go in their desk. But guess where it's not going? In the trash. Marketing, advertising. It's an expense, but does it pay you? Yeah. What if you put on the back of your car your stuff, and if you had a business phone number or whatever you wanted to do, need a Honda, or ask for so, whatever, right? What if you did something like that just on the back, or had a magnet thing and you put it on your car every now and then? Or a bumper sticker. Or what if you got little stickers that you put on the gas cap inside the thing, wherever customers always open, it's there. What if you had business cards throughout the car? What if you had a little goodie bag and you zip tied or hand tied and you had a little thank you note in your business card next to a little goodie bag of candy that you gave every customer that bought a car? Holy cow, that's marketing. That's an expense you have as a salesperson, but does that expense return money to you? Yeah. Who here would go to Vegas and gamble if they could? Who here plays fantasy football or DraftKings and does money on it? We've all done it, right? We're all willing to spend something for the chance to get something. Yeah. Do you not buy clothes and suits to dress for work for the chance to impress to get something? Yes. Do you not get your hair done a certain way for the chance to impress to get something? Yes. You see where I'm getting at? This is also marketing as well. We have expenses and you're running a business. But what's the biggest expense in the business that you don't even have to worry about? Power, electricity, insurance, overhead of all those vehicles that are on the lot, the rent of the building. Holy cow, you mean to tell me I got to run a business and all I got to worry about is marketing myself and then I get to sell and keep all the profits? Sign me up, right? And that's what I did. I ran a business. So how do we get there? We're going to break down the math. The math is easy, 200K ladder. First rung of that ladder is going to be you have to prospect. Your dealership is prospecting. They're running ads, paying for ads. Do you know how much each lead typically costs that they get in, and then how much it actually costs when you get a customer in? Out of the deal. It's typically $50 to $70 for every lead that hits your desk, whether they buy or not. It's typically around $500 for every one that bought. So you're worried about your commission.
Even on the minis?
Even on the minis. It doesn't matter. Every vehicle. They're spending, think about it. How many vehicles does your dealership sell? Low volumes are spending $50,000 to $80,000. High volumes are spending $100,000 to $150,000. Because you want to be high volume, you got to spend the money. You got to sell the car at less profit because you're volume focused. You also got to be marketing to get those leads to have them. But the ones that are very successful with it and make good money actually learn this. They don't have to spend as much prospecting if they teach you all how to prospect. But yet they don't do it. First step. Then you got to have leads. You got to have people to talk to, right? I can't sell somebody a car if I don't have a butt. I need a butt for a seat, right? What's your job, Jamari? Is it to sell a vehicle, or is it to find somebody to put in a vehicle?
Yes, actually it's a seller vehicle, but I would want to put somebody in the vehicle.
What if you flipped it? How hard is it to sell a vehicle? It's pretty hard, right? It's not hard, but it is hard. It's more work than it is to get somebody to say, I'm interested in buying a car. Is that pretty easy? That's easy, right? So what if I told you your job is actually to find somebody for the seat? That's your job. It's not to sell the car. Because what will happen is this will take care of itself. If you focus here, this will happen. And if you're missing something in here, I will tell you how to recognize it so that you can fix it to make this happen. So, the next one is we want to talk to our customers. We got to follow up. I can tell you right now that most customers aren't being followed up after day 3, day 4. Because Ken, where do most of your dealership's customers buy between day 1 and, because they've even said it in a meeting, day 1 and day 5?
Yeah, something like that.
Typically, first week, over 50%. But here's the funny thing. Do you know national average is only 20% of the customers buy in the first 15 days? From their first research. Their first attempt to reach out to somebody. Only 20% of them buy. The other 70% buy between day 15 and day 45. But yet we quit following up with them. Because we're not making phone calls. We're not trying to engage, trying to contact them. They may not even reach out to you during that time because all they're doing is they're just testing to see who they want to buy from. So it's conversations that we have to have. Because if we have more conversations, we're going to do what? Create more appointments. And if we create appointments, what's naturally going to happen? We're going to sell a car. Because now, once you get them in the building, which is the hardest thing to do, it's easier to sell a car. It's hard as heck to get an appointment to get them to show. That's the hardest thing in the car business, is to get somebody to come in the building. Once you get them to come in the building, it's easy to sell a car because now it's not just you. Who else is there to help you? Your other sales force, your managers, all that stuff, right? Imagine if your managers actually helped you do this stuff. We would have a lot more of this, thus creating a lot more of that, right? And then if we sell a car, what happens naturally? You make money, right? So that's the rung of the ladder. So we're going to go down this. We're going to break it down and do the math. So in your guys' workbooks, we're going to break down, go into the middle section of it here. It's almost after all these words, before the planner, right in here. And you can see some examples there, but we're going to go to a blank sheet for you. So Ken, you've seen some of this before. Go ahead and open up. We're going to right here.
Got it.
Yep, you're right there. So just keep flipping over. You can open it all up so that way you can be able to write on it. Yeah. And then we'll be right behind the next page. So that you guys can follow along and you will create your own as we go through this. So we're going to describe this for you. So we want to make $200,000 a year, right? $200,000 divided by 12 months, that's $16,667 a month. We want to make that. We're going to reverse engineer. Instead of going, man, I want to sell 20 cars, or I want to make 20,000, I need to sell 20 cars, and that's what I need to sell, and that's usually where people stop their goals. Is I need to sell 20 cars, and that's the goal. Because that's all that people write on the scorecard. In the dealerships, is 20 cars, right? That's just usually what's written. Unfortunately, that's a bad way of looking at it because you're missing a lot of stuff, and you're going to see why. So now we're going to break down to sell 16,667 cars, the average commission across the country. This is average commission. Some dealers are making $700 to $800 after their minis and bonuses and commissions, their average paycheck. Some are $400. Some dealerships out there are salary with a small bonus. Honda dealerships, there's a some. But we want to make sure that we're getting our average commission. That'll tell us how many units we need to sell. So I need to sell, based on this national average, 30 units. If you sell 30 cars, you will make $200,000 a year. That's just national average. And it may only take 27 cars to get there because you may actually start getting some commission. But that you see where I'm getting at? Now I've calculated how many units I need to sell. Now let's get the plan to how we're going to get to those units. So if I want to sell 30 cars and I close 50% of the clients that touch my desk. Can you close 50% of the clients that touch your desk?
Right now I'm at like 39%.
So just under of the clients that touch your desk, that you actually sit down in your chair, okay? We're going to show you how to fix that. National average is 50. So why do I need to know what the national average is to know if I need to improve or if I need to change? That tells me, right? So 30 cars times 50%, that means I need to have 60 customers come sit down in my chair. What's the most expensive thing at your dealership? The most expensive thing? That empty chair sitting right next to you in your desk. Because every minute it's sitting empty is a minute somebody could have been sitting there to buy a car. Right? That's your business. So I need 60 people sitting in my chair this month because I'm going to close 50% of them. If you're closing 40%, that number would go a little higher. But we're going to get you to 50%. Now, that's 60 customers. Now, if a lot up comes in, I'm going to close 50% of those. So I don't need to count my lot ups and the leads I need to prospect for because the dealership's bringing a lot up in, right? How many lot ups can you get in a month? Can anybody get one every other day?
Yeah.
One a day? If you just got 15 lot ups, so I subtracted that out, 60 minus 15, does everybody sees that? That gave me 45 visits that I need from actual appointments. So I need 45 of my appointments to show up. And do you get some people that didn't set an appointment just come in and show up and ask for you? Yeah, that happens. That's going to be included in some of that too. So that can affect some of your percentage as well. So what this tells me, and I like to be those, anybody like getting cupcakes or ice cream, a cake? And they like the icing on the top, cherry on the top? That's what I like those to be. They just came in and asked for them because I didn't have to do any work to get the appointment. They just came in. Cool, that's that's icing on the top. That's going to be the extra stuff. I'm going to sell above. Right? So now if I have a 60% of my clients actually show, and I'll show you guys how to get there because national average is 50%, but we can get to 60. That's 90 appointments. Means I need to set 90 appointments. Who here has been told you need to set 3 appointments a day? I know I've been told it. Why do you think that is? Because it gets you there. Now, if I get 90 appointments to get those, I got to engage customers. I got to have conversations with people. That means I need to have, if 65% of the people I talk to set an appointment with me because I asked for appointments. That's my process. We're going to go over that. That means I need 140 conversations. Okay? If I need 140 conversations, how many people do I need to send a lead in? Because we know leads come in and they don't engage. Is it available? Yeah, it's available. When would you like to come in and see it? What's got you interested in it? Blah, 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 blah. I have 215 and 345 available. Blah, 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 blah. Are you there? Are you still interested in the vehicle? Have you changed your mind to something else? And 21 days later, and they've not responded to anything. 45 days later. Yeah, I ended up buying. I sent the lead in and somebody gave me a deal. I'm sorry, I just never replied to you. Does that happen? Yeah, right? So 80% of your customers are actually going to engage with you. You're going to have those. Don't let those get you down. They're going to happen. But if you're not getting 80% engagement, are you only focusing on day 1 through day 4? Or are you focusing on them after? Do you have a process for your follow-up? To keep that customer, hey, that customer hasn't responded to me in 7 days, go to mark that loss, they're not a buyer. I love you because they're going to respond to me and I'm going to stay with them. They're going to buy from me because you quit buying. I've had so many customers come in and buy from me when I was selling cars that literally said I came in because you stayed talking to me. They didn't even ask me anything. I just stayed talking to them. I just kept inquiring and sending stuff to them and just trying to be friendly and not pushy, and it just happens because the other people quit. They found a salesperson that cares. That's what they're looking for. So let me ask you, when do you quit following up on your leads, Damari?
I'll say probably after they stop showing up in my DMS work plan. At least 30 days.
The dreaded work plan, but when's the work plan actually stop telling you to follow up with them daily?
Yeah, that's what I said, probably like 30 days. Sometimes it go like 2 days, and then they'll pop back up in my work plan. And then that's like, I just knew they were like super hot, and I just keep on reaching back out like, hey, like for instance, like what was it, last week, I had a customer, last name was Patel. They came in.
I love the Patels.
Yeah.
If you're in the business tomorrow, you'll know when you hear a Patel. I'm sorry.
So they came in, we drove a road, then, you know, then they let, then I walked them out. He was like, no. I was like, just give me 3 minutes, won't take long, just come in my office. It's gonna be real fast. So I gave him some numbers. My manager came in, he took the TO, and then you know, they were walking out, and that's when I walked them out the door, and then I just kept trying to dig, and then when I we're just digging outside, the husband, he told me, he was like, yeah, we work at a hotel. I think the best route would be pre-owned than new, and I was like, you know, I do have some great affordable pre-owns right now. I mean, you know, let's set an appointment, get back in, and then, you know, so I really just been trying to, that's how I really do it. And then sometimes, you know, you get to that point where it's like, all right.
Persistence.
Yeah.
What about the ones that don't even engage back with you? Your work plan usually stops on day 7, right? Most CRMs are set up that way, day 7, day 14, to quit sending you daily tasks.
Yeah, daily.
And then it goes to like maybe once every 3 or 5 days, right? And then, but if they're not engaging with you, you still stick with it to your work plan. But what if after 30 days, they turned and bought 60, 90-day mark? But they got to be engaging with you, and you can determine, but what if they're not, and then you just mark them lost, and then they send a lead somewhere else, and now they're ready to buy. Because people are going to buy when they're ready to buy, not when you're ready for them to buy. You can create the urgency and create the right time for the customer. We're going to teach you how to do that. But they're going to buy when they feel the time is right for them, right? Would you buy something if you didn't feel the time was right for you? No. Can your timeline speed up? Yeah. I've had customers come in a lot, man, I was just going to Walmart. I just was curious about it, just thought about it when I passed by and decided to pull in. Wasn't expected, didn't want to buy anything, and turned around and left with a navigator. Seen it happen. He was just going to Walmart to buy eggs. Left with a $110,000 navigator. I mean, I'm just saying, it's happened way more than you think, right? So we need more leads, and we need to stay engaging with them. If your rate is down, maybe you're turning people lost or dead before you actually should. Think about that. I want to keep them in my system, and we'll talk about that when we get into Facebook Marketplace as well, because that applies there too. All right. So, wow, 175 leads. How many leads do you get a month, Damari?
I'll probably say at least 20.
20 leads a day?
Yeah, and then like 10 are like a month. Like
a month?
Yeah. Because I'm really cut off for the leads. So I got to get like the grab, like where you just grab it and then like after hours. So.
We'll teach you how to do that. Ken?
Oh, 50, 60 leads, I think.
But you could get more.
Definitely, yeah.
Because they're a little set up a little differently. They have some favoritism that goes on there.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Kid knows what I'm talking about. But how do you do that? Prospecting. And what's the first rung of the ladder? Prospecting. So we're going to teach that. That's something I realized. When I was in training, my wife will tell you I'm an introvert. Before I went into sales, she goes, honey, are you going to be able to do this? Are you sure you can do this? I'm like, it's just like a restaurant. I can sell. I can put on a show when I'm at work. Do the same thing. I'm very much introverted. And I'm trying to run my own company. I've got to be an extrovert. I can function in an extrovert society. But I'm very introverted. So when they literally said in training, you will underestimate 100% the amount of prospecting that you will have to do to be successful in this business. And I'm like, prospecting? Hell, I'm introverted. I'm scared. That's why when I didn't sell a car my first week, I was literally wondering, is this for me? But I had burnt the ships behind me. I said, there's no quit. There's no failure. I've got to make this work. I've got to figure this out. And I tried a bunch of different things, and I figured that out. I learned how to get not 175. I had my managers coming to me going, how in the hell are you handling 300 leads? You can't have 300 leads open. What are you doing? Clean your CRM up. Yet I'm closing 30-something customers. Leave me alone. At least what I told them. They didn't like me too much from that. I'll speak my mind. I learned how to prospect. Then I learned that I couldn't do it all by myself. I ended up had to get an assistant. That's something I can coach you on down the road, on how to have an assistant and manage that. I'm actually working on that with the dealership I'm teaching and coaching on, is how to have an assistant. So now we're going to complete your ladder. So this right here is going to be your ladder. So, Jamari, how much do you want to make a month? How much do you want to make a year?
I want to make 6 figures a year.
100,000? $8,333 is what $100,000 is. So go ahead and write that down. Right here, what do you want to make income-wise? So everybody write that down on what they want to make income-wise. Which I will bring in here. All right. So this part here is just giving a rough breakdown, but it gives you an example. This is on my website that you guys can log into anytime. I'll give you the link for it. Well, we want to make whatever you guys want to make, write it down. What's your average commission? So $10,000 a month divided by 500 is how many cars? Divide that by your commission. I can tell you right here, I'll help you right here, Jamar, so that you can copy from up here. So I'll do it for you. 500. $10,000 is what you want to make monthly. You have 22 working days in the month. So as I calculate here, you have 50% closing percentage, 50% show rate as we're going through. So you guys are seeing where I'm going through with everything, right? So if you want to, go ahead and start plugging through your calculator.
I'm right here, I'm at 23.
So 23 divided by 40 is 57.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many lot ups are you going to write? 57 right here, because it's the same number. All right. Then how many lot ups are you going to get for the month?
From what we set up there, or?
No, how many are you saying you're going to hit? This is your ladder. This isn't mine.
Okay, lot up, I'm gonna go with. Okay. I say at least when I visited, at least I'm gonna say 20.
20? Okay.
Yeah, 20.
That's fine.
That's average.
So you need 37 visits from your appointment.
37.
Okay. So 37 visits from your appointment, right here, because it automatically goes there. Your appointment percentage rate, are you setting 50%? Are you setting 60 or 65?
My appointment show rate 80%.
Your appointment show at 80%?
Yeah.
So it'd be 80% right there. So 37, put like 80%. So 37 divided by 0.8. Okay. Then 46 appointment is what you need. Then what's your appointment setting rate? Customers you talk to, what's the percentage they set appointments?
I say around like, I say 40 on average.
40%? Okay, so at 40%. So 46 divided by 40%. Are you guys seeing the math?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Okay. All right, so 115. So 115 engaged customers. What's the percentage of leads that you get that actually start conversations with you?
I say 33% by 1 1/3.
33%?
Yeah,
Of
car
your-
gurus?
Depends on what they're paying.
That's the worst one.
Car Gurus for him works good because they pay a lot of money for their Car Gurus leads.
Yeah.
You're probably just getting the Car Gurus email address,
Yeah, the email, that's what
which
I
is the lowest paying one, and it never works because the customers never get it. You'll never sell a lead from Car Gurus with that type of information.
Yeah.
He gets all the information like it was from Auto Trader. Wow. Car Gurus was a gold mine for me when I was in his dealership. Mm-hmm. Because the other ones, they send it to these other dealerships and they can't respond to it. So we're the only dealership that can respond back to them because we pay for their stuff. Gotcha. Hence why the money, I say, some dealerships are paying $50,000, some are paying $100,000, $150,000. His dealership pays to have their leads go across the entire country. They get leads from California, Texas, New York, Maine all the time.
I got one from Portland, Oregon today. Cars.com.
Yeah. All the time. People are looking for deals and they're willing to have it shipped. They're willing to fly in and get a deal to save money. So you need that many leads because we have some issues.
Yeah.
Where do you see your issues at, Damari? And this is where I'm pointing out. The issues are, you see this closing rate, show rate, appointment rate, engage rate, these percentages, If you're not in any of these numbers are lower than here, you have a problem in that area. You could have a problem. You're struggling on your close rate of your visits of either getting them to the desk, or you're struggling with sticking with them and getting them to buy the vehicle. Because if they leave, they're not coming back. 5% of the customers that leave a dealership actually come back. Because people are buying at 1.2 places now. They used to be 4.5. Well, guess what? They're sending their leads to 4.5 to 8.5. They're visiting only 1.2. The first dealership they visit is you've already won. The first person they called, you already won. They're calling you because you have the best price, the best deal, the vehicle they want. You won already. Get them in the door. You get them in the door, you won already. That's the hardest thing. They want to buy the vehicle. Don't screw it up.
I screwed up.
We're screwing it up. That's fine. You're new. You're saying too much stuff probably. You may not be even getting help from your TOs that you need. I did it. I screwed a bunch of deals up my first week. I know. I still screw deals up because there's things we do wrong. That tells me my appointment show rate. Man, maybe I'm asking for the appointment too soon. I didn't give enough value. I didn't stick with them. I let them just tell me they're coming just to get me off the phone. I need to fix that, right? My setting appointment rate's low. I'm not asking for the appointment. I'm just answering the information and not asking for the sale. My engagement rate, am I following up with my customers past day 1 through 4? Am I hitting it? Your guys' engagement rate's only 65%. And you know why that is? It's because they're only hitting the leads day 1 through day 10. Really, day 1 through day 4. If they didn't respond to the first day, they're really not even following that, because I've seen so many reps that sell 15 to 20 and they quit following the customer after day 2. Because you guys, they get 1,500 leads a month from the internet. They have tons of leads that they have the opportunity for. Their dealership pays for it.
Yeah.
They have a gold mine in that dealership, but the problem is it's not being handled with prospecting properly, because there is a gold mine there. But they quit following up because you can look at the data. Data says most of my cars are sold day 1 through day 4. So what are we focusing on day 1 to day 4? You're already getting the unfair share. You're already doing that right, but you suck here. Why not focus on where you have a problem, not where you don't? See, this is where I taught most reps study on the closes and the objections. I need to work on that. They're already good here. Their problem is here. Or their problem is they don't have enough leads. So they're focused on the wrong thing. The math will tell you where you need to be able to put your improvement at. You know your strengths about doing things. This will show you your weakness, where you need to improve. Because if I try to focus on the whole big picture, am I going to be good at it? I could be, but I could be great at it and elite at it if I focused on the one area that I needed to improve and maintained what I was doing. Do you guys see that? No one's ever shown you this, have they?
Not like this deep and far. Like most times it's just like how we do it. We just do what you want to make for the month, and then what the units you want to be at. Divide it up. That's where you need to be at.
How many a day you need to sell? How many appointments? And they just go, you need to get 1 appointment or 3. They don't help you. Now you can look at your numbers, and I don't even need a manager to tell me where I'm struggling. It's right there. Circle. Like I would literally circle this right here. This right here is what I would circle. I wouldn't even focus here. Why would I not? So Jamari's struggling. He's got 40% engagement rate. If I've got 40% close rate, which one do I want to focus more on? If I increase my percentage here with a higher number of leads, I'm going to get a bigger impact that's going to funnel its way down. You see where I'm getting? So do you need to focus on closing an objection? No, you need to focus on how to get more leads and how to get them engaged. Because if you did that, you know how to set an appointment. You really know how to get them to show. And I know you can close them. That's what you need to focus on. So now you know where you need to focus when you leave here. Is doing what, Jamar? All right, Damari?
Getting to focus on prospecting and getting handling the leads.
Yeah.
People in. So
And getting engaged. Yeah.
that's what I want to ask about. So like how I get a lot of my customers is like I call from the manifest list. Hey, this is Dior here at Townsend Nissan reaching out to you. How you enjoying your current vehicle? I let them know, like, I give them a pitch, like, hey, we have a vehicle exchange program going on right now. We'll pay you over market price for your vehicle. Would you like to hear the number? And then that's how I usually, draw a lot of my traffic in, just doing that. Like, I'll beat the phone.
We'll go over how to master that. Because you're there, just a little tweak. We'll talk about it because I teach on that. So, whoops, I need to go back to my other thing here. Let's exit out of this one. Now, come back over to here. So now we completed our ladder, right? So, my ladder. This is what my ladder looked like when I started. I knew, or when I hit 60 units, to get to 60 units that year. To hit 60 units, I knew I needed to sell $33,333. The 333s. Divided it out, and I was shocked that it actually gave me 60 units. I knew I was going to get 20 lot ups, so then I knew I had a 70% close rate. I would close 70% of my customers that came in. It was easy to close a customer. Price was the price, no fees. Once I got them in, it was easy to close, but I was able to overcome it. The objections to get them to close just because I built value in it, and we'll talk about that. I had a good show rate. What I struggled at, though, was setting my appointments. Now, I'm above national average, but I thought I could get better. I actually worked to get myself up to build that up because I was actually, before that, I was sitting at 50%. So I had more people just coming in and showing up, asking for me. My wife will tell me, she goes, why do you have this? Why can't you? Because people just show up and ask for me. I wasn't asking for the appointment. I wasn't controlling my time, right? So I learned that's an area I had to focus on. I knew I just needed to get 190 leads, but here's a secret. Remember I told you when I was selling 20 and 30 cards, how many leads did I say I had? 200 to 300? Holy cow, if I just got a little bit better in these areas and I maintained getting my leads, look at what happened to my income and money. Just 10% increase. Fixing small things will solve big problems. I didn't focus on the big problem. I focused on the small problem. Just found one little small area, tweaked it, boom, I got big results. Did it again and did it again. Okay? It's in there. That sheet's in there. It shows you, like there's a one before we did this one, there's a demo one. It shows you how to make 100K, and then it shows you what if you increase 10%, what that would impact. So you can see the results for that.